What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Welcome, everybody. It is a Sacred Sunday show. It is the Awakening World. It is the Global Peace Tribe, and I'm glad that you're all here. Thanks for watching. I want to welcome all of you that are watching in different ways. First of course, our wonderful friends that are in the Zoom room with us. And we have a really beautiful, loyal core group, especially those of you that are with us on a Sunday morning. Thank you so much. I also want to welcome all the people watching on Facebook, and Jon and Sommer Ramer make it happen. They, of course, run the Sine Network. You hear me always say that every week. But guess what? Jon and Sommer are with us. They're a big part of today's show. So you're going to get a chance to meet the people that get us out to as many as 175 Facebook groups and pages. I also want to welcome those of you watching on Alan Steinfeld's YouTube channel, those of you who are watching on Humanities Team, those of you who might be watching on our own YouTube channel. And I also want to welcome those of you who are watching the replay. Our statistics show that about 35–40% of our viewers actually watch the recording. So however you're seeing us, whenever you're seeing us, welcome. And even if you're watching a replay and it's not Sunday, remember that we can make any moment sacred just by choosing to see the divinity that's all around us, even within us. Now, what's an especially wonderful thing to do is to actually join the Global Peace Tribe. And that way you get the Zoom room links. You can come on into our Zoom rooms and interact directly with us. And if you do that today is going to be a very interactive show. In fact, most of our shows are becoming more and more interactive. And so here's what you do. Come join the Global Peace Tribe. It's easy. Just go to globalpeacetribe.com. You can learn all about us. You can get your free copy of Deborah's wonderful book about activating the soul tribe, and click register for the new season. And when you register for the new season, that takes you, of course, to our registration page. No, not to our YouTube channel. I clicked the wrong thing. I clicked watch on it. We do have a YouTube channel, which is quite awesome. That's where you can catch a lot of our previous shows. But for right now, we want to talk about coming into the registration page. Did you know we do 3 or 4 shows every week? And they're all original, they're all live, they all feature amazing presenters, musical artists, things like how to authentically mix spirituality with politics, or perhaps what is your role in the emerging holo movement, or tools for creating greater ascension. These are some of the topics from last week. And so every week we do these amazing shows, and you can join us by joining the Global Peace Tribe. It's really easy to do that. So please do come and be a part of what we're doing. Being the Sacred Sunday show, our theme today is all about preparing for the 99 days of unity. And we're going to learn all about what that is, how to participate, how we can all co-create this awakening world. And so we're going to hear from Jon Sommer Ramer and Harry Uvegi, Dr. Tamsin Wooley. And of course, we've got wonderful music with our beloved brother, Omashar, and all of you providing your comments, your questions, and your thoughts. Certainly start by letting us know where you are geographically. Already I see we've got people from Ecuador to British Columbia, from New York to San Diego, from Seattle all the way to New Mexico. So it's pretty cool that we've got people from all over the world joining us. Let us know where you are geographically. And we're going to start, as we always do on Sunday, with a meditation. And I'm really delighted that one of our featured guests, Dr. Tamsin Wooley, is going to provide us with that opening meditation. Dr. Tamsin Wooley-Barker, I might add. Thank you, Dr. Tamsin, for being with us and starting us off with a meditation.
Thank you, Scott, and good morning to everyone. I'm really excited to share this with you. I'm going to take you through a little meditation to help you connect with your nature and the nature that's all around you. So you might want to be outside or have a window open or just be near your plants, or all the nature that's around you is there. So now I want you to find a comfortable position with your head and your neck and your spine aligned. And uncross your legs, ground your feet in the earth, and let your hands rest quietly in your lap or by your side. And take a deep breath. In and out. Feel your body weighted to the floor, and feel your chest rise and fall. Relax and feel heavy. Inhale. And exhale. And when your body's completely relaxed, I want you to feel the lightness of your body as you bring awareness to your breath and start to notice the thoughts going through your mind, the images and the impulses arising in you, and take note. How might they guide you? And now continue breathing deeply and shift your attention to the land and the nature around you. And notice the air on your skin. Is it warm or breezy? And roll the images over in your mind, the oaks and the sage and the green rolling hills. Or maybe you saw the ocean, the waves and the spray. Or maybe you saw a coyote darting across the road. What can your other senses tell you? What can your smells and tastes tell you? The cool, moist breath of the trees and the fragrant flowers drawing the loving attention of pollinators. Or a whiff of musky skunk. Take a moment to listen. What do you hear? The chirp of cicadas or the rising cacophony of flutes? Take notice of the patterns and rhythms around you, and take a moment to imagine what they're saying and to whom. And as you wonder about these beings and their exchanges and their secret lives, know that this is how life occurs in the moments around us. Our transformation, our adaptation is occurring in countless small everyday exchanges over many generations all around us. Each exchange opening new possibilities. So notice life's patterns and relationships and wonder what they have to tell you about yourself and your life, and consider how we might come together to cultivate conditions conducive to life around us. And as you feel the earth beneath your feet and the air on your skin and the scents permeating your breath, and as you hear the sounds of life pulsing around you, all our relatives, consider yourself among them, a human being, a living, breathing participant in this dance. And you are here right now, alive, and your ancestors brought you here. And everything within you was designed to grow life's generous potential. You are a survivor and a creator, part of life's emerging fabric. And everyone has a role to play. Your life here today is woven with the fabric of this place, You are part of the dance, designed for it. Breathe deep. What are you feeling? Life finds a way where no way seems possible, and those that persist will discover the wide blue ocean of possibility. Where is your edge, and what surprising doors will you discover there? And how might your blue ocean of possibility open up? And now, keeping your eyes closed, begin to feel the awareness. Return to your body and notice your breath, rhythmic and easy and connected to earth and the nature around you. Wiggle your toes and stretch and bring your mind back to us. And know that your ancestors survived many years of challenge, and we are all in this life together. What future will we create? Breathe deep, return to the room, and open your eyes. Namaste.
Beloved one, please hold me in your arms, supporting me, 'cause we have traveled so far. Earth and star, we are. Earth and star, we are. The one desire unfolding, the one true love evolving, 'cause we have traveled so far. Earth and star, we are. Earth and star, we are. And we feel it deep within. We know it in our hearts. We can bear the pain of separation no more. So come on, come join us. It's a taste of what will come when you let go. Give in to the one. The Sacred Heart is pulsing, radiant light, revealing, 'cause we have traveled so far. Earth and star, we are. Earth and star, we are. And we feel it deep within. We know it's in our hearts. We can bear the pain of separation So come on, come and join us. There's a taste of what will come when you let go. Give it to the one. When you let go, give it to the one. We are earth and sky. We are earth and sky. We are earth and sky.
Beautiful. Thank you, Omashar.
You're so welcome. I was really it's Sunday, enjoying Jon Sommer's shenanigans. Dude. Like little kids playing in the park.
They are truly a dynamic duo.
Thank you for that.
Absolutely. Love you guys so much. I actually got to meet them finally.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was some good hugs, hugging both of you.
That was really good. That was really good.
Really good hugs.
That's right.
Hey, before I go, because I am going to go to Jon and Summer in a moment, but I want to just remind everybody that Omashar, obviously, he's awesome, and you get to hear him 3 times a week on The Awakening World, but you can bring Omashar home with you by going to omashar.com. And that's where you see announcements, learn a little bit more about our beloved, and most of all, get his music. And if you're going to buy his music, buy it on Bandcamp, because they are the most generous at giving some of the money back to Omashar. And we're grateful for that. We're grateful for Omashar, and we are grateful for Bandcamp. And thank you, brother.
Grateful for it all. Beautiful.
Well, Jon and Summer, this show is really, it's your show. You are both so dedicated to this incredible vision of peace through unity and the 99 days in service. So I'm going to ask you, I'm going to turn it over to you to share with our audience what the peace through unity vision is and how we all can participate in 99 days of unity.
Right.
Do you mind if I start?
I want you to start.
I just want to start by saying, where Dr. Tamsin Wooley-Barker, I don't know where, sorry, it's Sunday morning, where she brought us is where we're going for the 99 days of peace through unity. So please, feel that space. To me, it felt like she brought us to this portal of how we are all one, as the beautiful song as well of Brother Omashar, this sort of weaving that so beautifully happens here on the Awakening World through our incredible brother Scott, and how he continues to pulse synergy and radical collaboration every single weekend. Brothers, Omashar, and the way that the holding of that space is invoking, that taste of radical collaboration that I just feel like our dear sister, Dr. Tamsin Wooley-Barker, has brought us to. And it also, some other special hugs that we've done in person as we were at the LA Convergence with Omashar and also Scott for the first time, but we also were with Dr. Tamsin Wooley-Barker and Harry and many others that are incredible part of the TEEM team with the great work of Brand Earth in Borrego Springs. Just like a month ago, we were physically with them as we have been nomadically on the road, and we are back home. But what is happening there on the land, and the way that Dr. Tamsin is invoking how we walk with Earth is, I think, a taste of what is really coming for starting June 17th through September, on these 99 days, as we feel into what is our missions. We get to really elevate that in a way that we haven't done before. So I'm really excited about that on so many dimensions of what it looks like to be in service in a good way together. So
Yeah, beautifully said, honey. Wow. I love summer. I love the thought that we can get up and be in service of what this moment is calling us to. The theme for these 99 days in World Unity Week and Peace Week is New Earth Rising. And I feel as if we can't keep doing things the way we've been doing things. In fact, one of the things I learned from Tamsin, she says that the situations we're in are caused by the patterns. The patterns are a function of our relationships. So the kind of agreements and relationships that we have with each other determine those patterns. And when we change those relationships, we can start to change those patterns, and the situation will then change. For me, that was a brilliant insight. And I discovered that during World Unity Week last year. So this year is our 4th year of World Unity Week. And last year, Harry Uvegi and Brian Russo hosted and stewarded a convergence room on holistic design and biomimicry. And a few months prior to World Unity Week, Dr. Kurt Johnson, who we know and love, said, you should read this book called Teaming: How Nature's Oldest Teams Adapt and Thrive.
who wrote that?
Wow. Holy, wow. My life hasn't been the same since. And then what happened after I started reading the book, and Vern Harnish, one of the founders of YPO, said it's the most important business book of the century. Business, right? And you're going to see why this is so important. And then what happened was Harry and Brian invited Tamsin to be in that convergence room during World Unity Week, and I heard her presentation. It was a revelation for me, because it's what we already know but have forgotten. It's a remembering and awakening. So the theme for this 99 days of peace through unity is New Earth Rising. And in that moment that I got to know Dr. Tamsin, I also got to know Harry Uvegi. And I can almost cry, because I'll tell you guys, if you're not worried about our future, I'd be surprised. But when I heard what Harry has been working on for over 20 years, I said, this project could change the world. And his partnership with Tamsin is so inspiring. They've been working together like for over 10 years. In fact, the whole idea of biomimicry, some of you may know of, Tamsin got a master's in biomimicry.
She was the first. Right?
Yes. And Harry was a founder of Biomimicry NYC, New York City. So there's some really important dots to connect here, and we want to help everyone follow the trail. Harry's leading, we're calling the Manhattan Project 2.0. Now, you know, there was the Manhattan Project and where that led us. Well, part of Tamsin's work is about nature of place. And that always begins with going back to the first people. And we all know Dr. Tamsin's wisdom there, but through this network that we have, Chief Dwayne Perry from the Lenape people, someone we were able to introduce Harry to. They're the people who made the deal for the land of Manhattan.
New York City, the
So-
original New Yorker.
This project, Brand Earth, I can't wait for you guys to get a taste of what we're talking about is possible here. Because this, for me, really is a game changer. And coupled with Tamsin's work, it's going to rethink the way we think about brands, the history we have of branding, the whole the way that the behavioral economics have been used on us to become consumers. How do we undo that? How do we get back to nature? So these two folks are an incredible team. They have been teaming up. And we went to Borrego Institutes because Tamsin's got the Borrego Institute for Living Design. And she's got a whole bunch of other things we want to talk about, like this film that's about to come out that talks about her work, as well as her connection with Geoversity. But the connection with Harry and Brand Earth is really the emphasis we want to put on, Scott. So I want to pause here. I realize I'm just saying a lot. I want everyone to know a lot because it's worth it.
But something I just want to acknowledge is sometimes it takes someone else to kind of speak to what's happening here. These relationships that we're introducing have really come from last year's 99 Days of Peace Through Unity. They would not have met. This group, this whole collaboration has completely transformed my husband's life in the last year. And he would say that it's part of his legacy work is to work with Harry and Sister Tamsin. And I've watched this blooming of next level synergy and care happening, which really started last year and during World Unity Week. And here we are a year later, and there's so much that has gotten planted deeper into the great visionaries of these two that we're introducing, and just such a profound year that we've shared with both of you on so many levels. So it is hard to express it all because it's also just so much love in the ethers here that is also part of what we want to share with every single person that's watching, that is in the essence of what is all an invitation for us to come together like this. So
Right. So here's a simple starting point. We've got World Unity Week. It's the 4th year. WorldUnityWeek.org has a website. Thanks to Unity Earth and Ben Bowler. He's also a member of the Sine Network and a partner in all of this. And last year, we realized, in honor of Avon Madison, in fact, that we could use these 99 days bridging World Unity Week to Peace Week in September. The 21st is the International Day of Peace. The 24th will be the last day this year, makes 99 days. We said, well, you know what? During that 99 days, and when we were in LA, folks had just returned from Sedona, where they'd been igniting the Holo movement.
which the Awakening World just did a whole show over the last weekend. The
Right.
Holo movement.
That's right.
Yes, is a part. Actually, I have the Holo around my neck. I'm sure Brother Scott has this too from
Ryan Berman.
Yeah. Okay.
So we said the 99 days activate the whole movement. Great. Well, what about other expressions of unity and peace through unity can we do? So we said, how about 99 days of radical collaboration by teaming up? Since I've been so moved and inspired by the work that Tamsin's been doing on teaming, maybe if she'd be willing to, if we approached her, she'd guide us, because she does this like for corporations. We said, maybe we can make this available to everybody during the 99 days, make it easy for them to be under her stewardship for a program dedicated to being radical collaboration. So imagine a radical collaboration on radical collaboration.
Wow.
And then we talked to Harry. I said, Harry, you know, the theme is New Earth Rising. What a perfect time to launch Brand Earth.
Whew.
And Harry said, got it. I said, Harry, how about Brand Earth as a sponsor? And he said, got it. Because he's been seeding and supporting initiatives all over, including the Borrego Institute for Living Design and projects happening in Hawaii and other places by the indigenous. So I want to give them a chance to talk about their work. I can
That's
talk
like an
about their work for the
That's
whole
like
hour
an
here.
introduction, and because we have,
I want you to
just
know
so
about
much to say.
teaming and Brand Earth and what you guys are doing together, and the opportunity for everyone to be a part of the 99 days of radical collaboration by teaming up.
So there you go. And here they are.
I'm literally tempted to come in and play the joke of, well, that was a great show. And it was really nice to see you guys on camera. We'll see you all next week, everybody. Bye-bye.
Was that an introduction or what?
I mean, it's so hard. Yeah. But and we have horses, by the way, in our backyard, and they wanted to be involved as well. So
Okay. Well, why don't we start? I would love to ask Dr. Tamsin, tell us really about teaming up and how you took your understanding of biomimicry along with Harry and created it to the human experience and brought it to humanity.
Thank you so much. Gosh, well, last year, World Unity Week, I'm trying to raise money for this ranch, this amazing ranch. And so I'm going to speak every single day until teaming occurs. So I did that. And of course, Jon Ramer shows up and the rest is history. But what I think is amazing, Jon, is the way that you really embody the spirit of radical collaboration. And that is really what we need. And so for me, when I think of radical collaboration, I'm thinking about collaborating with all our relatives, all of creation and other, radically different worldviews. And there's so few venues where we can do that, where we really have an equal footing to do that, explore that work. And I think this community is one of those. This has been a real blessing. And then Harry and we've been working together on biomimicry, innovation inspired by nature since 2009, he saw me speak. And so over time, I've been trying to push this boulder up the mountain by myself, but you can't do it. It turns out you really do need radical collaboration. So it's been really exciting to have Harry and Jon and Sommer come aboard and everyone else that's doing so. So how I came to this is that, I'm an evolutionary biologist. I was studying baboons in Ethiopia, living in a tent by the river, lions outside and all the rest of it. But what I saw was that these baboons were adapting to change very quickly. And it was because of the way they were structured, their relationships with each other. And so I'd go out in the field every day and follow them around. And, I made some philosophies, some theories around that. And then, time goes by and I'm working in a corporate environment and I see the CEOs and the managers doing the same things that the little boy baboons do. And the light went on that, these patterns apply to us as well, because we're nature too. And so that's been the work, is how can we apply those deep patterns that you see everywhere in nature to our own lives so we can rehumanize our lives? Because we evolved to do this. So why are we struggling? So that's the work with teaming, is looking at those patterns and applying them to our lives so that we can have the radical collaboration and we can have the adaptability. And it's easy to feel despair, in this world, because you feel like you can't affect it. So I think that's the work that teaming does, is that life is always finding a way, and it does it from the bottom up. It does it through connection and self-organization in small groups, mediated by trust. And so we have that power to do that. So what I'm hoping to do with the 99 days is to invite you all to, come up with your purpose. And we're all going to be unified towards peace. So we all share a deep mission and a deep purpose. And that's going to help us align our work so that we can have that kind of synergistic power that Sine Network brings to us. And we can make that the default, the way we do business and the way that we live our lives, so that we can have the impact that we need to have and make the changes that we need to make, because we know them in our hearts, because we're alive, we're living things, right? We're designed to do it. So I think it's very hopeful. I think it's very powerful. And what I'm hoping it'll do is lift all boats, and so that we can really synergize our work together and take it to the next level and really make the change. And, everyone's got their own projects. I know Brand Earth, Harry's got this amazing project that he's going to be working on. And so what I'm looking forward to is just helping everyone get on the same page, synergize our work together, get clarity, and start, pulling this together into an ecosystem where we can really be the change. So Harry, love you, man.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And this all of us has been brought together through the work that Jon and Sommer have been doing. And my relationship with Jon is only about 1.5 years old, and met on a Zoom call during COP26. And I just heard his voice, and the sound of his voice resonated to the point that I said, that's the guy. And ended up reaching out to him, and we've been together ever since. And continually digging deeper into our history, our ancestry, and just the knowledge of how we're so connected. And I remember him waving this book at one point in time about teaming. And I contacted him, so I know Tamsin. He said, what? And we all brought together at that point. And it's like amazing that you can hear people speak about someone or something, and then immediately end up having a connection with them, not only on the inner, but on the outer too. And this inside-outside manifestation is exactly where we are right now. We have the ability to move forward in a way that we haven't done before. I was fortunate enough to have a creative process that got me into architectural school. Ran my own design firm for about 25 years, and took a pause and reviewed the past 25, and the next 25 did not look that way. And it looks more like this conversation, that if I'm to do something about having a vision about solving a problem, whether it's on a personal level or a corporate level, it has a different outcome at this point. And I recognize that if I'm going to have an impact, it has to involve our commitment in our relationship with the gift that we're sitting and standing on and talking about. It's a very profound moment in my life to have committed to that, and to find along the journey the group of people that are in coherence with that. And the opportunity to do that and feel that and evolve with it is so heartwarming and so loving and caring about how we have this ability with each other. Radical collaboration is the only opportunity, filled with that loving embrace for each other, but also for where we live. One of the things I learned from Dr. Tamsin Wooley-Barker is the nature of place that we also learned from biomimicry as well. And the nature of place, me being on this island of Manhattan, I was born on this island. 8 days later, I moved to Brooklyn, another island, and came back to Manhattan 23 years later, and have been here ever since. And during this whole time of what the future presented to me was the notion of what I've done for the first 25 years was always solving a problem and always finding products that would have the opportunity to make that solution become more visible. And then I realized the power that the ad world had. The ad world is responsible for behavioral economics to the degree of how we are living right now. And I recognize that that doesn't work anymore either. And the ad world has this relationship with the global canopy. The global canopy, as we know it in nature, are the forests. The forest is the air that we breathe, the lungs of the planet. But the forests also are built in a certain way or grow in a certain way that light comes through the canopy to reach the grasses that are in its infancy and its ability to grow. So here we are as humans, as grassroots, trying to make a change on the planet. We're not getting enough light from the global canopy. And I felt that this is the opportunity of what does a brand actually mean? And when we come from the original concept of brand, we know what that looks like. And that was punishing animals to carry a mark, to say, I belong to this group of people. And I said, that doesn't work anymore, and turned it into an acronym. be respectful accessing nature's diversity. And actually, nature's diversity includes us. We speaking here together, to us and with us, we need to have that ability to not only access, but also respectfully connect with each other. So the notion of how brand can actually function in this way becomes a new brand story on how teaming has the opportunity to reconnect with these corporate structures and teach and present the patterns that they're subjected to, but make a difference on how the outcomes will become very different. And going back to nature of place, I realized I was doing this, but Jon actually pointed out to me that basically my nature of place is here in Manhattan. To the south, I live on the Upper West Side, which is middle of Manhattan, facing the west, but facing east, I've got the UN and I've got Madison Avenue. Two industry leaders in terms of trying to make peace on the planet, but another one trying to make success within the wealth patterns that we're so accustomed to. And then further south, there's the Wall Street, the financial capital of the world, that continues to drum its patterns of economic structures that go through cycles of boom and bust. That's a pattern that economically is dysfunctional, but at the same time has no relationship with the ecology of where we live. That brings me to the North. The North in 1626, the governor of this island at the time was Dutch and was now meeting with a Lenape on the northern tip of Manhattan to engage in a trade. That moment of trade was the blink that we are still struggling with. The man, Peter Minuit, was handing over some of his trinkets and some of his blankets, was with the thought and mind of ownership, whereas the Lenape chief was now returning a gift as a share. Just that two perspectives of ownership and sharing are based in spirit about how we desire to receive, to share, or the desire to receive for oneself. And it seems that we're still in the middle of that story of what's in the best interest of the self, and the community at large of the share is who I'm sitting with, who I'm speaking to, participating with, and acknowledging that by an invitation of value, we can invite the global canopy to participate in the obvious radical collaboration that's available. And I owe this to the few years that we've been together, Tamsin, and for the year and a half that Sommer and Jon have been with the three of us, the four of us. That's the introduction.
Wow. Let that in.
Mhm.
I'm really honored to have all of you on the show and introducing you to our tribe here. And thank you for just the profound work and the profound understanding of consciousness that you both have expressed. And Jon and Sommer, you just hit the ball out of the park bringing these two on. Thank you so much. Wow.
I know. It really is a blessing. I wake up believing it's no accident. How could it be that we'd find each other at this time and not really follow through? Harry reads the paper every day. Tamsin knows what I'm saying. Keep sending out the story. It's the same story. What was it yesterday? The lakes are shrinking on the planet. They're drying up faster than we ever realized. I mean, the climate challenge is maybe our greatest opportunity, because it's so pervasive. And how many times we hear from the UN, we don't have the money to do the things we need to do. The government's not putting up the money. So how are we going to come up with a whole new way of changing these patterns? And you two together, teaming up, and Brand Earth for me, is where I'm betting my money and time and effort and heart and soul. And like you say, Tamsin, the nature of place, it begins there. Harry's Island. Let's all take on Harry and his island and his vision. Because there already are connections that Harry taught me that are in place for this. Years ago, Ban Ki-moon went to the ad world and said, with the sustainable development goals, we need the creative intelligence of Wall Street, of Madison Avenue to get behind this. And they have. That's an institution that's in place called Common Future. But how do we connect up them with Wall Street and which are economic activities every day in such a way that we can fund this just transition? And how can we help the Madison Avenue and businesses respond to the demand from consumers for new kinds of products that do respect nature? We vote with our dollars. And sure enough, we see it happening, the shift to electric cars. There's so many ways that the seeds are there for us to take care of. So if Brand Earth is not just a way to rethink brands to respect and protect nature, but also a way to transform our commerce so that we can fund this just transition and demonstrate what it looks like on the ground in these projects, like in Manhattan, but as well as other places around the world, maybe we could scale up, working close with the indigenous world to really unify the human family and bring forth a whole new earth rising. For me, that's the mission of Brand Earth that we're committed to bringing forward during these 99 days. Harry's been working on for 20 years and with Tamsin for over 10.
So I also just, whenever I hear Harry speak, I don't know for those of you in the Zoom room too, but it's very powerful to feel into what it is that you all are seeing as this is being spoken. And, you know, I see this dandelion cracking through between, you know, as Harry and this visual to imagine that. And I wonder for you, Harry and Dr. Tamsin, what do you want to see, or what is like the visual in your mission as right now, as people are signing up to join these 99 days of peace through unity? There is this invitation to feel into what is like the mission, the call to action of your mission. But I wonder for you, because I see the dandelion so strongly breaking through the cement. But as the last day of the 99 days is September 24th. September 24th. So here we are. Let's just imagine we are at September 24th, 2023. Everybody in this room, we are all there on that day. What is it that we're, you know, blooming? As my origin place comes from the Garden of Joy, and I have a massive vision and collaboration that I'm working on with a sister that is significant in how to move forward and bring our visions alive. Like, you know, how do you see Brand Earth, Harry? And how do you see Team Lab, sister? And Scott Omashar, you know, I want to challenge the Global Peace Tribe. What do we see happening for the Global Peace Tribe? September 24th, 2023. What is our missions? Like, I want to hear and see that in the chats.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Homer. Yeah, put your missions in there and we'll start to synergize right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
A couple of things just to give context to them, because that's really what we wanted to do with today's show, is really kick off our understanding of 99 Days of Unity and people creating their own vision for it. And so, Jon, maybe if you and Summer could give a little more context to our audience, helping them to understand fully what that means and how we all can play together.
Okay, so I don't know if Scott, you could show that mighty network we've set up, peacethrough-unity.earth. But the idea is there's 99 days for us to declare a vision, a mission. And that includes not just a name, but also the objectives of what you want to see have happen, as well as a call to action. There's one up there already called 99 Days of Radical Collaboration by Teaming Up. And we've asked Tamsin to, and she's agreed to offer this course, which businesses pay thousands and thousands of dollars for. But if you do the explore, see what happens there. She's willing to offer it to 99. All will be exclusive.
Camera's on.
Okay, good. So on the left there, right? That under 99 days, there's three what Mighty Network calls spaces. One called World Unity Week. Click on that one. Let's see if you go there. And then you can learn more about everything I've been talking about here, the 99 days. And if you click on the one on missions on the left there, so close out, hit the little X in the upper right there, yeah. And then click on the details to missions. And like Charles is on the call here. So if you scroll down there, talks a little bit more about it and what it would be. But then go to the actual, click on it and see if we could see the missions. So if you hit the X in the upper right there, try clicking on that. Yeah, click there once. Let's see if it's, yeah. Okay. Now look where it says missions up on the top. If you scroll down, there's more information in the overview, this page. You know, scroll down, maybe it's a good idea. Proposals, give some thought to the time frame, and there's support for you to do it. And there's even a form here to fill out on the bottom. All right, this is everything you need to get started. You can scroll down within that form there. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
You click on, you want to, so during World Unity Week, you can either say, I want to be a steward of a room, or I want to present in a room,
good.
or there I could declare a mission for the 99 days.
And that's a Zoom room.
That's right. A convergence room is, yeah, but click
So
on.
let me come in for a moment just to help explain to our audience, because it gets a little confusing. Because there's 99 days of unity, which is basically the summer, and it's when we're going to work on our 3-month projects. But then there's World Unity Week, which kicks it all off. And World Unity Week is June 17th to June 24th. We're kicking off World Unity Week with the Awakening World on Saturday night, June 17th. Our whole show will be dedicated to World Unity Week. So there's like a 1-week period where there's all these amazing events, Zoom rooms that Jon and Sommer Ramer and Ben Bowler and a lot of the World Unity Week people put together. And that is kind of like a week to get us really going and excited and learning and meeting people like Dr. Tamsin and Harry. And then the 99 Days of Unity is our 3-month summer that we're working on our projects, that we are creating whatever it is we commit to creating during those 99 days. And it might be a personal project. It might be planting a garden in your backyard. It might be finally writing that book. It might be helping the Global Peace Tribe, reach a larger audience. It might be you get really turned on by Dr. Tamsin. So it's like how can I support, teaming, or how can I support Harry's rebranding project? So there's the week-long Unity Week. Then there's the 99 days, which is basically over the summer, completing on September 24th, which takes us to the beautiful vision that Summer was suggesting we all hold. So hopefully that provides a little more context.
Thank you, Scott. It is, I think too, this is so big, and we've been doing this in a pattern. This is our 4th year of World Unity Week and really Peace Week too. But last year was the first year of clarifying and really counting and seeing that there's 99 days from the beginning of World Unity Week and from the tail end of Peace Week. So these are patterns that have been unfolding for many years, but in this platform of these online convergent spaces that happen seasonally, and dear brother Scott has been supporting a lot of these events over the years. So the 99 days is a way to kind of catapult all of it and to look at it in a way that isn't so linear as well, but to really cyclically see how we are nature and how there's this pattern of 99 days and pulsing opportunities and ways to serve this new earth rising. So yeah, and all of what we're sharing is an invitation. If that simplifies everything, you can be with Dr. Tamsin Wooley-Barker during the 99 days. There is this course that is unfolding. I signed up last week. And what I think is really powerful about that is if you're thinking right now, what are your missions? If it's your garden or if it's supporting, I want to know too, for Scott and Omashar, like what is it that's brewing for them in this work of the awakening world and such a collective significant space? What is what is that mission? What is your call to action? But how can the teaming aspect of Dr. Tamsin's work really elevate that? What is it that we're like that I can't see yet for the Garden of Joy and the sense of dancing every 9 days? That's a whole thing that I'm not going to get too into, but there is a whole mission I'm working on. But I'm really curious on having that in that teaming radical collaboration space to elevate and recognize how I can be elevating and lifting up all the boats in the sense of this collaboration opportunity. So there's a lot here, I think, that can.
There's a lot here.
What I'm hoping is that we come out of it with a real model for how to do this kind of work. Because, if you work in the nonprofit sector, you see different organizations doing the same work and competing for funds and working at cross purposes or just wasting the potential that we have. So I think what I'm hoping to do is facilitate a living mind and a way of thinking about our projects that is alive, like whole living beings, called living systems thinking. So there's going to be some profound insights that really put things that you think in another light and open up new potential you just didn't even know was there. So I'm hoping that we can come out of it with a new model and a bunch of case stories, just great tales of synergy of like how we radically collaborate to create change in the world. And then maybe we'll see nonprofits take that up and start to align their missions, and we'll start to see some real change. The same in organizations. We just did we had the Beyond Growth symposium in Europe, and people are genuinely talking about decoupling the economies from growth, and that's profound. But how do we tell people to, stop making money? It's not going to happen, right? So what we have to do is lead them to a change through what they're naturally doing, and suddenly it flips the system into something new and actually old, because we're still here. And I think that's the important thing, is that we can grow this from the ground up because we're human beings. We're designed for this. It's the power that we have within us. So I hope you'll, think about your mission, think about how we can align and team up.
Tamsin, what are some ways that people could support you and team up? What are some specific things people could do if they're turned on by who you are and what you're doing?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'd love you to go to my website, which is teamlab.com. That's with 2 E's because we're teaming. It's a pun. So you can go to teamlab.com and check out what I have. I've got a new book coming out. That would be great if you want to check out the book. I'd love to have you just, join my email list so that you can stay up to date with it. I'm going to be having a lot of grassroots things for just regular people to do this work, so that we can have that hope and feel like we're making a difference, because that's where the passion is at, right? It's like in our hearts. So how can we connect that? So I'd love you to go there. I'd love you to check out the 99 Days of Peace Through Unity, Radical Collaboration. And there's also a course, ubiquity.com, ubiquityuniversity.com. We're going to do a 4-day, 4-week micro course on teaming up. And that's going to be really powerful. You can actually apply it to a PhD. So yeah, Yeah, and then the film. I'd love people to see the film when that comes out, and so you can also sign up at the email address to schedule screenings. We can do book signings, all kinds of things.
Tell us more about the film. I know that you mentioned before we came on air that it's at Cannes right now at the Cannes Film Festival. Tell us about the film.
Oh, it's amazing. We had Celeste Gear. She's an Australian filmmaker. She did win at Cannes some years ago for another film. So it's just beautifully done, but it's a feature-length documentary. And I hiked across the Americas with a Kuna climate activist. And we stayed in the villages and we talked to the chiefs about climate change. And it was just profound. I mean, I changed my life. I was held underwater in the river and for 90 seconds and popped up, and I just changed my life. You know, I could, I mean, that's really why we're here, right? It's to celebrate that life that we have and that blessing. So yeah, it was profound. It's gorgeous. Agar is a rock star. She's just, I mean, it's just beautiful. And we're going through these old growth cloud forests that no one, you know, ever gets to see because it's the autonomous territory of the Kuna people. So it was really profound to see like the way they relate to other species. You could just, all our relatives, they were living it. And so to come back to the United States after that and to connect, you know, indigenous perspectives and where the majority of society is at, and see if we can really radically collaborate to get back to what we know is true in our hearts.
I would say, Tamsin, that the teaming is so hot that you're now steaming.
And by the way, I've seen the film 3 times, and it is one of the most amazing films to activate what I think we're all talking about here. There are so many films out there to inform us about like the world at this moment, and I've seen so many of them, but this is by far the most incredible one that I have ever seen, and it moved me, and it's so current of this moment now, you know, on still dealing with COVID, and it tracks so much of the world at this moment, and it being you, Tamsin, and your relationship with this woman. I mean, it really is touching, like really one of the most amazing films, I think, right now, documentary wise, of really inspiring us, you know.
It starts in Borrego Institute for Living Design in Borrego Springs, and you really see this stark landscape, and that's really our future if we can't figure this stuff out. And then you go to Panama and you see that we're all connected, and that desert there is because of the rise of Panama. And, you know, we changed the global climate once, so do it again.
What's the name of the film?
It's called The Endangered Generation.
And who's the voiceover?
Oh, it's Laura Dern, Jurassic Park, bigger than Jurassic Park, me and Laura Dern. Yeah, she's the narrator. It's just beautiful, beautiful.
Right. And I want to underscore a good example of what radical collaboration looks like that's happening here.
Right here.
So Jim Garrison says, wait a minute, we'll make Ubiquity University in its partnership with Tamsin such if you take the 99 days of radical collaboration by teaming up, you can get accredited and get a credential for it, because they're the Global Accreditation Council, and now they're offering that to people that are participating. There's so many great examples already emerging in this space. David Gershon and Peace on Earth by 2030, and what Brother Phil's doing with ending war. That's going to be happening during this time. I mean, the list goes on. Charles Betterton is here. The Living Earth movement, what Charles is up to. He was in Borrego with us. I mean, everyone's, I sense, just pulling out the stops. Now's the chance to, like Summer used the word catapult, propel ourselves forward.
Catapult.
Catapult. Did I say catapult? I hadn't said that before. This is our time. This is New Earth Rising starts to look, if not now, when, guys? So let's be a model of discovery. We're building to learn. We're not building to last. We're building to learn. And there's a lot to learn here. And Tamsin, your guidance, and Harry, your expression of it, and the examples that we see around us with you, Scott, and what this could mean for the global peace tribe. Let's make some space for that here now. Who wants to share? What, Scott, do you see for global peace tribe? Let's say it's September and everything's turned out just the way you want it.
I will answer that question, but just for a quick moment, Tamsin, I would love to connect to you if you haven't already. Have you connected with Jeanette Walpert and the Illuminate Film Festival?
Oh,
Oh, well, I host a lot of their programs. They've been on this show a lot. The Illuminate Film Festival is awesome. It's both online and in person in Sedona, Arizona. And your film would be like perfect.
okay. Okay.
And they've got a lot of subscribers. And so I'll create a connection with you and Danette, and let's see if we can have a Illuminate Film Festival sponsor an online screening of your movie, because
That would be wonderful.
it's a perfect match. So there's an example of some synchronicity that immediately comes to mind.
You can really quickly see how much potential we waste by not connecting. And here, like, we're really embodying that, of just like everything goes to the next level so quickly when we radically collaborate.
And speaking of collaboration, I am bringing Charles Betterton on because Charles is a big part of World Unity Week, a big part of what's happening here. I will get to my vision for Global Peace Tribe, but let's stay on the film for a moment. Welcome, Charles, to the Awakening World.
Well, thank you. I'm honored and privileged to be here as well, and blessed to have spent lovely time at the site of Borrego Institute for Living Design, Tamsin and Harry and Summer Joy, and I'm still rejoicing from that experience and trying to catch up and just be of any possible support. I put a couple of links in the chat, including for the trailer and the book screenings for the endangered generation. That's another thing that you could not only offer to Illuminate, but through your global outreach that you have. It's a fabulous film. And I had come to love Tamsin even more than Laura Dern, so I mean, that's my testimony. So thank you. That's all I have for today.
Fabulous. And Charles, anything else you'd like to add about kind of, what you're seeing here and kind of your role in all of it, or any more praise for Harry and Dr. Tamsin or Jon and Summer?
There's not enough words in the English language for sufficient and adequate praise for Summer Joy in the Garden of Joy in the Dance, and Jon and Sine Network and Tamsin and Harry. But stay tuned. And the little room that we're offering in 99 Days of Peace Through Unity and on the Mighty Network is simply Loving Living Earth Steward Airship. And that's a phrase and a philosophy that encompasses spirit, service, sustainability. I mean, here we are. So much of what has been shared here, especially in Harry's presentation, it's about steward airship. It's about honoring our blessed opportunity not only to live here, but to be faithful, grateful stewards of what we've been entrusted with. So get me started, because I'll get wound up. But thank you, Scott.
Well, I think this is a good time.
I copied your image and language, and shared it everywhere I could find over the last couple of days for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Charles. Well, I'm going to start reading some of the visions that our audience, because I really like to include our audience. So here are some of the visions that people are putting forth, starting with beloved Deborah Juliet. She writes, "My vision, conscious universal love and unity. We are living in complete harmony with nature, in tree houses, receiving our energy from the ethers, in complete unity with the animals of the land and the forest around us, horse riding instead of driving cars, protected by bears instead of a heater, and eating the berries around us, bathing in rivers, lakes, or seas, playing with fairies and dragons, which is already 80% of my reality." So that's quite a start, beloved Deborah. I'm going to put you on camera for a moment so we can see the person who I just read that. There's beloved Deborah playing with the fairies, and thank you for that beautiful sharing, Deborah. I have a feeling she might be muted and doesn't even know that I just presented her. So there is an answer to Summer's question of where we are on September 24th. A few more comments from people. Eleanor Joy, God bless Eleanor Joy. That's who you saw dancing. She writes, for me, I'm starting small and doing what I can in my own backyard, bit by bit, which is awesome, Eleanor Joy. I'm going to put her on camera for a moment. There she is with her beloved. And you're contributing by dancing and getting everybody up dancing on the Global Peace Drive. So thank you, Eleanor Joy. A couple of other responses. Connie, and I'll put her on while I read what she wrote. There's Connie. And of course, we love Connie and Andrew. They're frequent guests. She wrote, Andrew and my mission, teaming up for visualizing and implementing the success of our new film, In Search of the Future. The only way out is up. A sequel to our 2000 film, In Search of the Future. What does the wise ones know? So she's got the film overview in the chat box if you want to learn more about it. Thank you, Connie, our newlywed. And so just a couple more things that people have put in here. I guess that's it. So there we go. We need to hear people's visions. My vision that you've asked a couple times now is I really, after every Global Peace Tribe show, there's a bittersweet feeling. The sweet part is, God, what a great show. And the bitter part is only a few hundred people saw it. And that, it breaks my heart because it's like tens of millions of people should be watching and getting to know what Harry and Tamsin are doing and what Charles and Jon and Sommer are doing. So my vision is somehow we really find a way to get all of you, all the people that are on the awakening world, out to the world in a much bigger way. That is my vision and my desire.
Right.
And
Scott,
yeah.
That's exactly what we're doing when we make a wave.
Mhm.
That comes from a different agreement about trust, a different pattern. We could do exactly what everybody here could. It's a little bit of effort to make the stream available to your audience. Do that for each other. Look how Charles did that so beautifully. Behind those words, that actually took ass hours. He sat there and was willing to share it and put it out to his friends and say, hey, this is important. Pay attention here. If we start being peer advocates for each other and for the work you're doing, Scott, instead of just cheering you on, but actually say, let me use some of the goodwill I have with others to say, hey, pay attention here. This could be good for you. I've gotten such gifts in my life because of my joy that comes from sharing the amazing work that's around us. It can't be an accident, guys. So if we could change how we relate to the Global Peace Tribe and say, that's not just something I watch, like Harry was saying, are we just receiving for ourselves or are we receiving to share? That may be the whole thing, guys. It's just about us. What can we do that's good for others? And it turns out to be the best thing I could do for myself is take care of the people around me. Millions will show up, Scott. I believe it will happen because we're doing the right thing. That's the beloved community.
Thank you,
Thank
Jon.
you for naming it and saying, hey, guys, what I really want to see is more and more people find out about the work we're doing. And we could do that on your behalf.
Yeah. And if it's on the awakening world, great. If it's some other way, great. It doesn't matter how it happens, but just to get all of this out to a much larger audience is so what I long for. This would be a good moment, Jon, for you and somebody to explain to people what the Sine Network is, because they hear me talk about it every week. But what is the Sine Network and how can people get involved?
Well, it grew out of the Compassion Games, which is the survival of the kindest. We said, let's create a league of superstar compassion players who trust each other and support each other. So we've been gifted with the trust. We're admins on hundreds of pages. What Summer's, if you notice, Summer's been looking down, she's not texting to her friends. She's actually sharing, because when a member goes live and you're a member, we turn that live stream into a sine wave by sharing it. And other members are saying, you have permission, go ahead, put Scott's work out so others can reach it. That's the pattern that we've discovered based on trust that enables us to super support each other. Maybe you want to build on that, baby.
Well, the 4 convergences that happen throughout the year is also another way that we create synergy together, an opportunity, an invitation to participate in lifting up the global peace tribe and lifting up the world. World Unity Week is sort of the next collective expression of synergy that we're building up and getting ready for. And, you know, a lot of times too, you know, there are great ways to join the Sine Network, but I see this as an example of synergy, not necessarily to join the alliance, even though that is great, but there are many different organizations that are natural collaborative vortexes. And I would say Scott is one of them. So we're not making sine waves for everybody. We want to lift up the most social, harmonious justice work that's happening in the world, is a lot of the things that we are focusing on supporting. And those 4 convergences are an example of that. And there are individuals that are doing beautiful work and they're launching books and launching films. Yeah, but a lot of that is really incredible social justice work that's being lifted up and great opportunities that are creating more peace in the world. John brings up Hereditary Chief Phil, who is often featured here on the Global Peace Tribe. A lot of the work that he is up to is actually harnessing many indigenous creating unity for indigenous communities in the world. So we are often wanting to lift up where the most unity is happening for all life is what we really want to be lifting up at this time. And you can learn more about Sine at sine.network. And also for this particular time, so there is the website link that we were showing where participation form and everything, but worldunityweek.org is a really great place to get prepared for these 99 days. And if you go to /participation, it takes you right to that participation form that I think is a really great place for us to get clear, not only about what our vision mission is, but what is an event that you want to potentially contribute to World Unity Week that will be harnessing your mission or this Global Peace Tribe mission. And it takes you through this really beautiful process. What is the action to harness your mission and the objectives of your mission? I mean, I've just recently went through this process, filling out that form for a project I'm working on. And it is really powerful to really get clear about what is this mission and this idea of teaming as we are doing today.
Beautiful. All right, so I just put that into the chat box, but for anybody watching on all these beautiful Sine Network friends, again, it's worldunityweek.org, and then you hit / you go up where it says participate, and you can still learn all about it. And this is an amazing thing. I want to go back to Harry for a moment. Harry, how can we support you? How can we support you and what you're doing with Brand?
That's a great question. I could give you a line. We require a new brand story, a paradigm shift where science, advertising, and consumers reconcile for a resilient future, where nature's data-driven stories help illustrate changes in consumer behavior and emotion in our relationship with the icon of all content, Brand Earth. This is the basic principle of we're wanting to weave biological intelligence with the creative intelligence of the ad world to meet the emotional intelligence of the 8 billion people on the planet. Noah's story was one family who took all the species aboard. We're in the moment of the opposite. the species are disappearing, we're left, and only we as co-creators together can actually shift this in our paradigm shift in consciousness.
Mm.
So everybody has the opportunity. We're wanting to invite everybody on the planet to participate in this. And that's through invitation about how they behave on a daily basis in what they buy and what they sell. And making them understand that what they're doing actually can help their local issues be resolved as well. If we're looking for funding, we want funding to behave in a similar pattern as what happens in our own systems. We have blood running through us, our life system, and it's all on autopilot.
Mhm.
But without it, we can't function. So we're looking at taking currency and composting it to regenerate ecology, to finance a human economy, because our wealth comes from ecology, not from this idea of money. And I think it's that perspective of understanding what I just shared. When you start to incorporate that in your thinking, that's a shift. And that shift maximizes itself, and we have an ability to make the change.
Mm.
It's simple to me.
How good is that? My God, what a blessing you are, Harry. It's that vibration. That's the change. That is teaming. That's awakening.
What I love about what Harry's said is that all of this is in our minds. You know, we can decide to be alive and stop living in this machine world. You know, it's only us holding the bars. So we just have to make the decision. You know, why are we standing at the end of the line begging for money to live and to make the changes we need, when we can just decide to put life at the front?
Mm.
Thank you, Harry.
Beautiful. We didn't get a chance to hear from Omashar, his vision. We'll have, of course, Omashar music at the end, but Omashar, what is your vision you'd like to share?
Well, I have a couple. I'm right there with us, with knowing that the content of the Global Peace Tribe Awakening World shows should be put in everybody's inbox in the whole world, because it's exactly the fodder that we have here, which will change the world. And I'm not sure how that's going to happen yet. Grassroots is grassroots, but it's like really rather slow. And I know that there's got to be a way to just click into the stream, and maybe it's happening as we speak. As I feel the vibration of Harry and Dr. Tamsin and Jon Sommer, it's like, wow, this is happening, and it's possible, but now it's boots on the ground. And so my personal vision in this 99 days is to find a producer to help me really polish up my music, because my music is awesome. What it lacks is, cancel clear, is polish. And so my vision is to find polish, a producer to help me fully polish it to a world-class production, because I do all the producing myself, yet I'm a jack. And I put my song next to a song that's had $200,000 thrown at it, and you can notice the difference. So there's that. But the other one is the Global Peace Tribe. I'm here because I don't believe in it. I know that what we put out is the truth. And when the truth is heard again and again and again and again and again, it vies in our psyche for competition with the muggle world, with the bullshit world out there. And eventually, if you give it enough attention, it takes over. And then there's a little fire in your heart, which turns itself on. And from my mental point of view, I start noticing, hang on a minute, there's a life happening in me. and sharing this with you is I know that it's happening for all of us, those who keep on turning up this week, week by week, and those who listen to the, you know, many people are on the shores of this massive lake of awakening, and they just dip their feet into the edge of the Facebook and the edge of the YouTube. They don't fully jump in, and you know, it takes a commitment to jump in. And I think I'll shut up there, but that's kind of it for now. Thank you.
It's beautiful. Thank you, Amashar. Thank you. Well, I'm going to give each person a chance to kind of share one last thought, and we'll go to the website again. And so, gosh, I feel like Dorothy at the end of The Wizard of Oz, you know, loving each of her little travel partners. I guess, Dr. Tamsin, what an amazing thing to meet you. And I definitely look forward to connecting you with Jeanette, the Illuminate Film Festival. And let's put together a really great online screening of your film. And thank you for the beautiful work. You know, I do have a question. How bad is it with the bees? You know, I see these, you know, we see so many terrifying headlines, and sometimes I'll read the story and sometimes I don't want to read it because it's too painful.
Yeah. I mean, the pesticides are really a killer. I mean, we've seen in Europe, the tide has changed. You know, they've said no more, and the bees are making a comeback. It's been really amazing in Britain, and that is changing. I mean, we know that 1/3 of our food depends on those pollinators, so you know they're important.
Wow.
You know, they're amazing. We just found out that they are sentient. You know, collectively, they meet the criteria for sentience in the scientific community, which blows your mind. They're no different from us, really, in the way that they create their society. So for me, I love to watch them, and they teach me a lot.
Yeah. No, thank you. The bee. I have two totem animals: the wolf and the bee.
Those are good ones.
Yeah, and I've had someday I had a whole experience where I was stung over 50 times by yellow jackets. And luckily I was with a woman who was a Native American woman who kind of shifted my experience from this, oh my God, I've been stung by so many bees, into an initiation into the bee kingdom. And I literally went into a whole trance experience of being a bee. And bees are amazing. They have such a great gig cross-pollinating all the flowers, and there's a hive mentality that's just amazing. So I had a pretty cool experience of that. So
Yeah, it's really cool, Scott. I love that.
Yeah, it was quite amazing. Up in Telluride, Colorado is where that happened. Anyway, Dr. Tamsin, it is a pleasure to meet you. I am going to be in close contact with you. And thank you so much. And I see that Deborah Juliet is offering something wonderful there that might be helpful. So that's great. Thank you, Deborah Juliet. All right, Harry, what final thoughts would you like to share?
The gratitude for being here, for the invitation to be able to share this, the invitation for this to be an invite to come back as we go through these 99 days and have the opportunity to help us with the invitation for the rest of humanity to join us. I just love the opportunity that I have. I'm fortunate enough to have this relationship with Tamsin, Jon, and Sommer. When there's more than two, you get 3 and 4, things start to move really well fast.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And yes, I would love to have you and Dr. Tamsin please come back onto the show again and share more, and hopefully share how some of our Global Peace Tribe members are getting involved with you. I'm really hoping that seeing how inspired some of the people are getting, that you'll have a lot of Global Peace Tribers joining you. Thank you. Jon and Sommer, love to hear your thoughts and visions and anything you want to add.
Well, a couple of things I wanted to just reflect is, part of the sine wave is you often talk about the waves that we do. I was looking on your Facebook page that we make waves from, the Love Coach Academy Facebook page, which all of you should be following at this point, that, looking at some of the videos that happen, just so you know the impact that is happening right now in this moment. So there is a video that had about 49 views that maybe had that we didn't make a sine wave of, just so you can kind of sense what the difference of what happens when synergy is happening on behalf of the Global Peace Tribe. And I was looking at it was the Holo gathering that happened just last week. We made a sine wave. I think it was 175 shares. So just 49 views of another video that we did, but there was 700 views.
Mm.
So just so you know, I mean, all of you are part of that. This isn't just Jon and I manually sharing, but that sense of the power of share, the power of teaming. Just to give you just one little glimpse example of how that is, something that we do in support and on behalf of trust of Connie and Dr. Tamsin's pages, and that is happening. And that's really cool, right? Okay. So the other thing I just wanted to say in behalf of like these visions and missions, I really want to call it out, missions for the 99 days. I filled out the form this past week with Heather Elizabeth. Her and I are collaborating. So this is what I have. So I had to clarify a mission name is called Our Cosmic Joyful Super Bloom Imagine Peace Promise is the name of my mission, okay? Along with Heather Elizabeth. My objectives, mission objectives, so you get to do this for yours. Anchor, embody the medicine of becoming the age of Aquarius. Providing 11 new Earth Rising experiences, Dancing the Garden of Joy Super Bloom, and launch of Shine, which is Heather's work, Imagine Peace Promise. Harnessing cyclical rhythm of prophecy patterns every 9 days of the 99 days, which is 11 total, if you're wondering. I'm also saying that we're providing a brave, sacred space to empower individual, collective, and global missions for new Earth Rising. So please, we need your missions on that dance floor. My mission call to action is dance the peace you wish to be in the new Earth Rising. And yeah, so I just wanted to tell you that out loud so you can feel into how you would be, I'm just thinking of Omashar, like what is your call to actions? What is the objectives of that album, right? To like clean it up. And, that there really is this beautiful practice that the incredible team, Ben Bowler, Irina, Becky, there's this amazing team that is really harnessing this time.
Right. And, I want to acknowledge, I hope you caught this because Sommer had this conversation with me. This is another example of the radical collaboration. She says, I don't want my mission to just stand alone. I actually want to put my mission out in service of everyone else's mission.
Yes. It was
right?
really an interesting
come and
discernment.
dance and now you have a way of bringing dance to the things you've been thinking about and a space like that. That's, for me, this teaming up is turning what we have into what we need. That's the essence of strategy. But we got to get to know each other and get to discover, like we had in this conversation, what a joy it is for me for you guys to discover the amazing work of Dr. Tamsin, Wooley-Barker, and Harry Uvegi. That's what this is about. It's time. So we're going to write another tale of synergy. This is what it looks like.
One of my favorite, probably my favorite personal thing that people did last year was Sommer danced for 24 hours. She for 24 on Zoom. It was live on Zoom at 3 o'clock in the morning. You go on Zoom and there was Sommer dancing or getting people like Jasmine Bear to dance.
Scott, and I'm doing it again. So the 11 experiences that I was just sharing in my objectives, the first of the 11 is on June 16th. I am inviting the world into my Zoom and doing 24 hours of dance. And then the tail end, so the final 9 pattern of 9 in these 11 days is I'm doing another 24 hours. So you have 2 opportunities.
I'll be there. I'll
Back
be
in. And yeah, dancing is a big thing that the medicine of my soul is just saying, like, it's, not necessarily to teach, but to just offer a space from the Garden of Joy, and whatever happens in that space will happen. But it's really like, that is the medicine as for me at this time, is offering that space again.
Let's all come on into the Garden of Joy. And we'll definitely on what do you know what date that's going to be?
Yeah, it's going to be June 16th, and we're starting at 11 Pacific, and there'll be information in all of this 99 days. There'll be very clear invitation.
Send me a specific thing about that, because that's the kind of thing that we can get a lot of our global peace tribers to come in and dance with you. Plus, I want you to have support, and I'll have you come on the show again one more time just before then to remind people, because I really want to make your dance-a-thon a big success.
And thank you for being a patron of the Garden of Joy project, Scott, and also Charles Betterton. And, it takes a village. We're all lifting up our dreams in this world. And mine is partly a book as well that I've been dancing. And my goal at the end of the 99 days is to have my manuscript, a first draft manuscript, actually complete. I haven't really said that because I do tend to not want to talk about my just individual thing. I don't know. That's my own growing edges, I guess. But yes, that is a part of why I'm dancing for this
amazing.
earth. So.
One last thing, Charles asked about how people who haven't discovered us can go back and watch. We have an amazing YouTube channel, and I put a lot of energy into that YouTube channel, to be honest. Every single show that we've done on the Awakening World, and going back to Saturday Night Live and the Secret Sunday shows, you can find them on this YouTube channel. And if you go there, it's easy. Just go to YouTube and put in Global Peace Tribe. And I've created some really great playlists. And a really good playlist to start with is right at the top, where we take snippets of shows, 15 minutes of Michael Beckwith, 10 minutes of Marianne Williamson, and people that are not quite as famous. Obviously, we have the Twin Ray there, Adam Apollo, Claire Dubois, Marcy Shimoff. And if you take a look, it's a very wonderful, elaborate playlist. Michael, we're starting a new series in January called the. So go to our playlists and find something that turns you on, one of the speakers, and maybe find someone you haven't heard from before. Oh wow, I never heard Tamsin speak before. Oh, I didn't know about Harry. So it's a great way to start. And the other thing to do is have a watch party. Have friends over and either watch a live Awakening World that's got a theme that you think your friends would really like, or go through and watch some of the little segments from our YouTube channel. That's a great way to kind of get the energy rolling. For
the 99 days, have Global Peace Tribe parties.
Exactly. Let's do that.
During World Unity Week, gather with your people and talk about missions, right, Scott?
Absolutely. And again, we're going to kick World Unity Week off on Saturday night, June 17th, right here on the Awakening World. So, Dr. I know that Harry had to leave. Dr. Tamsin, I'm going to bring you on one more time for a big thank you. And we always open and close our shows with music, and we are so blessed to have Omashar leading the way. Omashar, turning over to you.
Well, are we ready for that?
Yeah.
And thank you, Summer, for your pattern, because it's going to help me refine that which I want, what I choose. Because my sharing is to share; it's not just personal, and it is very personal, and it's because it's lifting us all up. and which I think is what you were just talking about, your edges a second ago, is like it's not personal because we know where our heart lies, where our heart lays, L-A-Y-S. And so there it is. And so this song is called The Time Has Come. It's a Sacred Sunday show, so I won't rock you out, but I'll beat you out, not beat you out, rhythm you out. Language, holy smoke, I'm gonna shut up. So.
I felt alone for oh so many years, held my head high to hide the pain, nowhere to turn, so to myself again I tune my heart to the mother. I am one with all feeling, and one with all love, one with all healing, and one with all. I am one with all feeling, and one with all love, one with all healing, and one with all. Da, 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 the time has come to wake my sleepy head, peel back the sheets of illusion. The time has come to lift my voice once more and sing the songs of the new world. Sing, I am one with all feeling, and one with all love, one with all healing, and one with all. I am one with all feeling, and one with all love, one with all healing, and one with all. Da, 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 da. With all feeling, and one with all love, one with all healing, and one with all. I am one with all feeling, and one with all love, one with all healing, and one with all.
Wow.
The time has come.
Time has come. Let's all give a big twinkle to our beloved Omar Shar. And
Thank you.
thank you everybody for dancing and moving to the music and singing the song along with him. That's such a great song.
Just another show that the whole world could have, would have, should have watched and will.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. That's why it goes on for me. So thank
So
you.
educated every week, Scott. I become more and more educated and bewildered. So
Well, speaking of every week, I always like to close with what we've got on next week. And on Wednesday night, to be honest, the people I had lined up had to postpone for a month. And I was like, oh my God, what are we going to do? So Omashar, Trish, and I are going to be showing some of our favorite clips. And we want to hear from you. Who are some of the presenters that you'd like to see again? And I will pull some of those dynamic segments that you saw that I was showing you on that playlist. We're going to be pulling from there. So
Scott, could they perhaps email you with requests?
yes, you can email me, or if you have my cell phone number, you can text me, or everybody can find me on Facebook. I'm the only Scott Thomas on the planet. And so you can Facebook me. And let me know, who do you want to see? Hey, I want to see Adam Apollo. Hey, I'd love to see Sharif. I'd love to see Reverend Bridge.
I want to see Dr. Tamsin again.
Dr. Tamsin, yeah. So there you go. And then I'm going to be in Ashland, Oregon again next weekend with the Twin Ray. I'm really blessed to be staying with them for a few days. And so it's going to be a really lovely show on Saturday night, all about what it's like to be inside a thriving community. And, a lot of our global peace drivers are interested in being part of community. And I got to say, the community in Ashland is amazing. It's really wonderful, happy, healthy people that are living a very high vibe. And we're going to hear from the Twin Ray, but we're also going to meet a lot of the people that work with them, people that have moved all the way from as far as Germany to be part of this community. So it's going to be a really fun show. And then finally, on Sunday, the Sacred Sunday show, it's another edition of our Authors That We Love. And we'd have Steve Farrell from Humanity's Team. He's just written his first book, which is kind of autobiographical, how he went from being a Silicon Valley millionaire to the founder of Humanity's Team. Patrice Karst, a longtime friend of mine, she has written a series of children's books. One of them, The Invisible String, has sold over 1.5 million copies worldwide. And she's just a single mom who started writing children's books in her 40s, and they took off. She'll be with us. And Chanel from France, you all saw her on our Mary Magdalene show a few weeks ago, and she has written a beautiful book. And so she's going to be with us. And then my co-host, Eden Amadora, who introduced us to Chanel, will be on that show. So, and as always, Omashar providing beautiful music for all three shows. So that's what we've got next week, brother.
Absolutely, absolutely perfect. So looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to next Sacred Sunday with Twin Ray and the wider community. I already feel like I'm a part of that community, even though vicariously. So brilliant.
Absolutely. And we've already got our first request for the Wednesday night show. Eleanor Joy wants Antoinette and Pato. So you got it, Eleanor Joy. I'll make sure we show some Antoinette and Pato.
One of their favorite reggae tunes from Brazil. Yeah.
Exactly. That's a good idea. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful Sacred Sunday, a beautiful week. And remember, we can make any moment sacred by choosing to see the divine in all. Good night, everybody. Take care.